Dear students, good morning to one and all. Today we are discussing the part 3 of your first unit, that is computer arithmetic. Previous last 3 classes we have explained all the doubts. I hope you got clarified them. This part 3 computer arithmetic, we have 4 topics. The first one is obviously is the introduction topic. Second one is addition and subtraction. Third and fourth are multiplication and division. So, how these operations are going to perform in a general computer, we are going to discuss in the form of a flow chart. Also, its hardware implementation also. So, as you know very well that we have 4 basic arithmetic operations in general. They are addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So here these arithmetic instructions in the digital computers are manipulate the data to produce the results which is necessary in the form of a solution for any computational problem. So whatever the problem that is given by the user, if you want to get the solution for that problem, we need to perform these arithmetic operations. This depends upon the situation. Some operations may only require addition, or some are mixed up with addition, multiplication, or maybe needed division, like that. So we give, the user will give certain instructions to perform these arithmetic calculations, like ADD meant for addition, SUB meant for subtract, MUL meant for multiplication, DIV meant for division. It is like that in general language notation if we speak. And obviously, as you are all aware of your C language, you know there is a plus symbol for addition, and star symbol for multiplication, and minus symbol, hyphen symbol for subtraction. When you come to the division, you use 2 symbols where even one is for quotient, another one is for remainder. So these 4 the basic operations, if you want to perform, it is possible to formulate other arithmetic functions also with the help of this. Means, if you are capable of doing these 4 operations, if you are capable of doing these 4 operations, you can perform any other arithmetic functions, any other complicated arithmetic functions also by using the numerical analysis method. Say for example, now there is an operation, power operation. So m power n. Let us assume I am giving you a small example. So there is an operation called as m power n. So here, whatever the basic operations now we have discussed, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, there is no power operation is explained. But how you are going to perform the power operation? You know very well, m power n is nothing but multiplying m with n times. Multiplying m with n times. So like that, by the help of the multiplication operation, you are going to perform the multiplication power operation. So like this, any operation, any complex operation given to you, or you give to the computer as a user, that computer will perform those operations with the help of these basic 4 arithmetic operations only. So an arithmetic operation, if you want to perform, so like it may be addition, subtraction, multiplication, whatever it is, so we need an arithmetic processor. Okay, we need an arithmetic processor. So you know very well, in the basic computer organization, there is a unit called as control unit and arithmetic logical unit, ALU. ALU is there. So in that ALU, as a part of ALU, there is one basic specific unit that performs all the arithmetic operations. That is called as arithmetic unit. So this arithmetic processor is a part of the arithmetic unit. So arithmetic processor is a part of a processor unit that executes arithmetic operations. Any arithmetic operation, if you want to perform, user must give an instruction to do so. to do certain operation, user must give an instruction. So this arithmetic instruction may be specify the binary or decimal data. So if you want to perform arithmetic operation on which it is going to perform the operation, so it may be binary data or maybe decimal data. So later the decimal data may be converted into binary for easy understanding of your computer. And this binary or data, decimal data may be a fixed point data or a floating point data again. Okay, so you can have binary data as a fixed binary or floating binary. You may have decimal data, a fixed decimal or floating decimal. So in any of these four forms, you can perform the arithmetic operation. And here one more category of the data is negative numbers or positive numbers. See here, the data, input data we are giving to the arithmetic operation are classified first in the form of a binary or decimal. Or another classification is that number is a fixed point number or floating point number. Our third classification is it may be a positive number or a negative number. And here positive number, there is no problem at all because its sign is positive, very easy to understand by the computer and to perform the calculations also. But in our calculation, if negative numbers are there, then operation, how to perform the operation. So these negative numbers are represented in signed magnitude form or signed complement form. As we discussed in the previous sessions of complements method, these negative numbers are represented using signed complement form, means one's complement or two's complement, converting a negative number into two's complement and putting a sign bit as 1 at the most significant bit, like that. So fixed point numbers are nothing but integers, or sometimes they are in the fractional part also we can use. So like this, by keeping all these four terms, arithmetic processor, arithmetic instructions and negative numbers and floating fixed point numbers, we are going to have our further discussion. So next, here there is a question called as what is an algorithm? I don't think so. You are not aware of algorithm. You are, as being a CSC second year students, by this time you might have well known about the algorithm. So for any problem, you need to have a solution. But that solution is in terms of finite number of steps, finite number of well-defined procedural steps, correctly to say. I am repeating, any problem we have for which there is a solution. That solution is defined or stated by a finite number of well-defined procedural steps. Then it is called as an algorithm. See, I am here using some terminology called as finite number. So an algorithm always contains limited numbers. Limited number is which is countable. It may be 10, 20, 30, 100, 1000 also, but it should be a countable number of lines are there in an algorithm. And each line means each step must be a well defined, means there should be a meaning for that step which you are writing in the algorithm. How many number of steps are there in the algorithm? Every step must contain a meaning to it. Okay, and each step is a procedural step. Procedural step means it is going to perform certain procedure, certain operation. So that is called as an algorithm. So I am repeating again, the definition of an algorithm is like this: the solution to any problem that is stated by a finite number of well-defined procedural steps is called as an algorithm. So here, algorithm is written for easy understanding of a layman. So sometimes the layman may ask you to convert the algorithm in terms of symbolic representation. So what do you mean by symbolic representation and how you define it? It is nothing but a flowchart. So a symbolic representation of an algorithm is called as a flowchart. Now we will look into different types of flowcharts, how these four basic operations that are addition, subtraction, multiplication and division are performed by using the following data, like fixed point binary data in signed magnitude form and fixed point binary data in signed 2's complement form. So these 4 operations to be performed, and these 2 data we will go for the further discussion in these chapters. Let us see here, there is an example is given. 5 base 10 and 6 base 10 both are going to add. Here you can see that there are many numbers are given here. Like it is assumed that these 5 and these 6 are 32-bit registers. Means you can see a 5 is represented by using 32 bits here. So 32 bits means it is the computer what we are using might be having a 32-bit register. So that's why we are using 32 bits to represent the 5 and also 32 bits to represent 6. So both together we are going to add, and the result will be either in the binary form or in the decimal form. The result we got. So while we are going to add, see the first one 1 plus 0 will get the result as 1, but there is a carry will be there. Of course, in this addition, carry is 0, which is moved to the next operation. So then next operation, this carry is 0 and the original input value is 0 and 1 added. The result is 1, sum is 1, whereas carry again is generated as 0. So again 0 and here 1 and 1 both are added. So here we got 1 0, 1 as carry. So that's why that carry is moved to here. Like this, all the operations will be performed. So this is a simple example how an addition operation is performed. If the registers that are being used in your computer are 32-bit. సో మీ కంప్యూటర్లో 32-బిట్ రిజిస్టర్ కనుక యూజ్ చేస్తే ఒక 2 నెంబర్స్ని, ఒక 2 4-బిట్ నెంబర్స్ని ఎలా ఎడిషన్ చేయాలి, యాడ్ చేయాలి అనే దానికి ఒక చిన్న ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వీ హ్యావ్ సీన్ హియర్. సో ఇఫ్ యూ సీ దిస్ స్లైడ్, ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ సింపుల్. what are the various terms we are going to use in this part of the discussion are just listed out here, which is one is what is an algorithm, as we have discussed just now, and what is magnitude. Magnitude means like if you are going to perform 2 numbers, the 2 numbers will have 2 values, that is one is sign, second one is magnitude. Here actually the magnitude is nothing but the original value. Magnitude is nothing but the original value where the sign is whether it is a positive or negative value, and the register is a place where we store the data, the input data. So 2 bits or 3 bits or whatever it is. Okay, next line contains arguments, addend and sum. When you are performing the addition operation, the 2 numbers are called as arguments and addend. The result will be called as a sum. And the third line contains 3 terms here: minuend, subtrahend and difference. When you are going to perform the subtraction operation, this first variable will be called as minuend, the second one will be called as subtrahend. The result will be difference. Whereas next line contains multiplicand and multiplier, and the result will be called as a product. And fourth operation, division operation, dividend, quotient. Division, dividend and quotient. So here, after performing the addition operation, if you get the result in the form of a sum, sometimes you may have a carry also. At the same time, when you are going to perform subtraction operation, the extra bit what you get is borrow. If the first value is lesser than the second value, then obviously to perform the subtraction, we need to go for getting a borrow. So to store this carry or borrow, we use a special register, because when you are going to perform 2 8-bit operations with the help of 8-bit register, the carry or borrow will be an excess bit. So that excess bit will be stored in a simple flip-flop. A flip-flop is a single storage register. There it is called as a overflow. And sometimes in the division operation, along with the quotient, you also may get remainder. So, and the third one is complement, end carry. A AVF, which is called as add overflow. Here complement means when you want to perform the signed magnitude operations, that is when the two values of the input are not same, then you will convert one value into 2's complement and the addition operation will be performed. That is called as complement. And then what is this end carry and how it is different than carry? Carry means if there is 8-bit number is there. So like for example, 8-bit numbers are there. Then if you want to perform those 8-bit numbers, first bit of the first input will be added to the first bit of the second input. Then if you get a carry, that is simple carry. But after completion of the 8 bits, when you are going to add the 8th bit of 2 input values, then that carry what you are going to generate is called as an end carry. So that is the difference between a carry and an end carry. And as I told you, AVF is a single flip-flop bit which is used to store the added overflow. When you are after getting the performance of the addition, if you get any overflow, that will be stored in that register called as AVF. So here we'll see simple addition and subtraction. So these addition and subtraction algorithms for data represented in signed magnitude and signed 2 complements form we have to discuss now. So it is very important to realize that the representation for negative numbers refers to the representation of numbers in the register before and after the execution. Means, say for example, when you are going to perform two the operation between 2 inputs, among those one may be negative value. So, or sometimes the 2 values also may be negative values. So, this negative, the concept of negative, you have to represent before performing the arithmetic operation and also after performing the arithmetic operation. So, for example, you are going to do addition between plus A and minus B. So, then if A is greater than B, then the result will be plus value. Or if A is less than B, the result will be in negative form. So that's why even before performing the operation and after performing the operation, you have to compulsory represent the sign bit. So for representing the sign bit, you know very well we are going to use the complement method. So you see here in this table, there are basically 8 operations are given. Among those 8, 4 are belongs to add operation and 4 belongs to subtract operation. So the first one, both the values are positive values and the operation we are going to perform is also adding. So that's why, so simply it is comes under adding the magnitudes of the 2 inputs because signs are common. Adding the magnitude of the 2 inputs. And you see the fourth one also addition operation and 2 magnitudes A and B and their signs are also same. When the signs are same, then what we are going to do is we are simply adding 2 numbers and putting the common sign, that is nothing but negative sign. And the 6th one and 7th one you can see. So A value is positive and B value is negative and we are going to perform the subtraction operation. During that situation, as you know, with the help of multiplication process, minus into minus becomes plus. That's why both the A and B values are added and the positive sign will be put in front of the result. And the next one, minus A minus plus B. So here minus into plus B becomes to minus. That's why A and B are added and the negative sign will be represented in front. The same way, when you come to the subtract operation also, there are basically 3 cases we have to check while you are performing the subtract operation. That is, when A is greater than B, how to perform, and A is less than B, how the combination will be, and when A is equal to B, how the combination. You can see those values, the resultant values with the sign representation in the table in 3 cases. I think this is very easy understanding slide. That's why I am not going to explaining more about it. So if you take the simple example, so plus 3 is represented, some alignment problem is there in the slide. Plus 3 is represented as 0, 0, 1, 1. Actually here 0, 1, 1 is 0, 1, 1 is original value, and most significant bit contains 0, which is used to represent that it is a positive number. And we are going to add that to a positive 2. A positive 2 means again the most significant bit will be 0 and the value is magnitude is 0, 1, 0. The resultant of this one is plus 5 because two magnitudes are having same sign, which is a positive sign, so the result will be 0, 1, 0, 1. So sign bits are also gets added automatically. 0 plus 0 sign bits will be added. So you see the second example. First one is a negative number, second one is a positive number. So means both the signs of both values are not equal. So that's why we are getting a negative value. Negative means minus 1. So that's why in the most significant position, we have a value 1, which is used to represent that the result is a negative value. So these are the simple two examples. Now how the hardware implementation for this arithmetic operations you can see there. So here in the topmost we are using a register called as B register, and if you see before that B register there is small single bit register is there called as BS. Here this BS is nothing but used to store the sign bit of the B. So if B is a positive value, that BS flip-flop will contain 0. If B value is a negative, it contains 1. In the same way, in the downside, you have A register and AS1. So AS means representation for sign of the value A. A register contains actual value. So here we are using the hardware part in between these two, register A and register B. Two things are there. One is complementer and second one is parallel adder. Complementer and parallel adder. You can see here the complementer and the parallel adder. These two are there here. So complementer, parallel adder are used to perform addition. So why we are using here two parallel adder and complementer means when you are simply performing addition of two values, when the signs are equal, we can go for using adder. We can go for using parallel adder. But unfortunately, if one value is positive, one value is negative, then if you want to perform the addition or subtraction operations, we have to convert the negative value into its 2's complement. For that purpose, we will use the complementer. And along with this register A, register B, sign bit A, sign bit B, complementer, parallel adder, we are using two more flip-flops also, like flip-flop registers. One is AVF, okay, add value overflow, and E, output carry. E is output carry. These are all the various registers that are used inside the computer for performing your arithmetic operation. So here mode control is given. One bit is given there, mode control. So if m is equal to 0, you will get the output as A plus B. Means simple addition. But if m is equal to 1, it represents that one value which is there in the B register is a negative value. That's why we calculate its 2's complement. How to calculate 2's complement? First B's complement, that is 1's complement, plus adding 1 will get the 2's complement, and that result will be added to A, which gives you A minus B. So here, based on the value of m, either we just simply perform parallel adding operation, or we go for complementer and then parallel adder will be performed. So if you see the next slide, so it consists of registers A and B, sign flip-flop just now AS and BS. Subtraction is done by adding A to the 2's complement B based on the value of F. Whatever we have explained just now, that is there in this screen theoretical part. If you want to go through, you can have. Here added overflow is also given to hold the overflow bit when A and B are added. Okay, so this is explanation about the previous hardware part. Now here just you can see the flowcharts for addition and operation, so which are very much similar. That's why let us discuss about the flowchart for the subtraction operation. Here you see first once if we explain the subtraction flowchart, it will be easily understood by you for the addition. So you see the subtraction. Before you are going to subtract, what we are going to do is the sign bit of the B. The sign bit of the B is moved to one special register BS plus. Is moved to one special register BS plus. Okay. Now after that, so after doing that, we are going to check out with the diamond symbol. So you know conditional symbol is diamond symbol in your flowcharts. There we are checking the sign bit of two values A and B. So AS is equal to BS or not, we are checking. So there the green arrow mark is giving for yes, the red arrow mark is giving for no. So if A sign and B sign both are equal, that is if it is yes, then what we do? Either both are maybe positive values or both are maybe negative values. You got my point? Both are maybe positive values or both are maybe negative values. In these two cases, the sign bits of both will be same. At that situation, simply what we do is A and B are blindly added and the sign bit of A will be copied into sign bit of the result. Here in that calculation is given AR is equal to A plus B. AR means A result. Result will be A plus B and ARS means sign of the result value. Sign of the result value will be AS. Here anything is okay. It may be AS or BS because both the signs are equal. And you come to the second condition, that is if A sign is not equal to B sign. Here if A sign is not equal to B sign, then again you will have sometimes A may be greater than B or A may be less than B or A may be equal to B. Okay, both signs are not equal, but A is greater than B. If A is greater than B, say yes, A is greater than B. Then what we do? Simply the result will be A minus B. B will be subtracted from A. B will be subtracted from A, and because A value is a higher value, the resultant sign bit will be AS sign. So AS, the sign of A value will be copied to the resultant sign of A because A is the greater value. And if you go to the second side, no, A is not greater than B. Red flow. A is not greater than B. Means here again A is equal to B or A less than B. Again there one more checking is given whether A is equal to B or not. If A is equal to B, what does it mean? Your A sign, B sign are not equal. So means one is plus, one is minus, whichever it may be. One is plus, one is minus. So one value is plus and second value is minus and both the values are equal. What does it mean? Example, plus 4 and minus 4 or plus 20 or minus 20. Here magnitude is equal. Okay, 20, 20. A is equal to B. Yes, 20, 20. Magnitude is equal. But their signs are different. One is plus symbol, one is minus symbol. What is the result? When you are going to perform addition for plus 20 and minus 20, the result will be 0. The result will be 0. So that's why here when both A and B are equal, then what we are doing is A result is equal to 0 and the sign of A result is equal to 0. So because why we are moving the sign as 0 is, it is a positive value. There is no negative 0. That's why simply we are moving A result sign as 0. If A is not equal to B. In the above, we checked out a condition called as A greater than B or not. And here we checked out A is equal to B or not. And the last option here is A less than B. If A less than B, however, we performed A minus B in the case of A greater than. Here in the case of A less than B, A result register will be B minus A. A result will be B minus A and A result sign is B sign because here B is great. A less than B means B is greater only, no. That's why the sign of the B register is moved to the resultant sign of the A register. Okay, this is the flowchart for the subtract operation. The same way, previous also we have given their flowchart for addition also, you can easily go through this in better manner, because subtraction may be a little bit confused. That's why I have explained the subtract operation. Now let us go to the combined hardware implementation for both addition and subtraction. So this flow chart is going to give you two operations. So you can see two parts are there: subtract operation, add operation. So if you consider subtract operation, the minus is in A, the subtrahend is in B. So A sign bit, B sign bit are XORed. So A sign bit and B sign bit are XORed. If A sign bit and B sign bit both are equal, means if both are 0, or both are 1s, then you will get A S XOR B S as 0. Both are equal. So if they are not equal, then so that's why we are using here XOR operation. Whatever the previous flowcharts are explained here, different we have explained there. One is for addition, another one is for subtraction. Here in this flowchart, we have combined both. What is the change from those flowchart is that we have compared the sign bits of A and B. Here we performed XOR operation. So based on the XOR operation, we performed whether sign bit of A is equal of sign bit of B or not in both addition and subtract flowcharts. So if they are equal, A sign and B sign are equal, then EA means A is equal to A plus B bar. B bar means that is complement plus 1, 2's complement, and there won't be a overflow. A overflow is 0. So after that, we are checking the value of E. Why we are checking the value of E is, this is called as end carry. E is end carry. So when you are performing addition of two values with the help of 2's complement, if the end carry is equal to 0, then simply we will complement the result and will be converting that into the 2's complement, and that answer will be stored as final. If that is 1, end carry is 1, we don't do anything, simply as is. We have explained in the previous session also. After performing addition using 2's complement method, if the end carry is 0, we convert it into the 2's complement and we will put a negative sign. If end carry is equal to 1, simply we discard end carry. And we will write the final result. So that is the way how we are going to explain the subtract and add operations in a single flow chart like this. So the leftmost bit of a binary number represents the sign bit. As we have discussed, if there are 8 bits are used to represent any number, the 8th bit is used to represent a sign bit. 0 for positive and 1 is for negative. So the sign bit is 1. If the sign bit is 1, the entire number is represented in 2's complement. We have performed some calculations also in the previous complement examples. And after representing it 2's complement, we add those two numbers. After adding, a carry is there, it is simply discarded and considered as a positive value. If no carry is there, then we will convert it into the 2's complement form, and for the result we will put a one value which represents the negative result. So this is the way how we are going to perform the addition and subtraction with the help of 2's complement method. So for that purpose also we are going to use here a simple hardware part. You just see here there is a BR register that is having one value, and there is AC register. Here instead of A and B, we are using BR and AC to avoid some confusion. So here BR is there, AC is there. Simply instead of there in the previous hardware implementation, we have one complementary method and one parallel adder circuit is there. You can see in the hardware part of simple one complementary is there. And here you see in this hardware implementation, one complementary is there, one parallel adder is there. Both will be executed in different times. If m is equal to 0, then simply parallel adder will be executed. But if m is equal to 1, we will use complementer, then parallel adder. But in the present hardware implementation, what we are going to perform for two's complement method, both complementer and parallel adder circuit will be in one place only. Means whatever the number you are getting, you have to convert the second number into two's complement by default, and you need to perform the addition operation. So this diagram explains you about the hardware for signed two's complement addition and subtraction. Signed two's complement addition and subtraction. So whatever the explanation we are giving in this session is nothing but whatever the examples we have taken in the previous class. So in the previous class, we have explained the actual operation of addition and subtraction using two's complement method with some examples. And the same here we are explaining in the form of a theory. So for this simple algorithm is there given to you. So here one algorithm is given as for subtract, and second is given for addition. So you see in the subtract algorithm, we have minute in AC, subtrahend in BR. So minute is in AC, subtrahend is in BR, means AC minus BR. But how you perform this operation AC minus BR? That whatever BR is there, for that we will calculate two's complement. How to calculate two's complement for BR? First you find out one's complement. If it is a binary value, means we can in terms of say r's complement and r minus 1's complement. So initially for BR we find out r minus 1's complement, r minus 1's complement, and 1 will be added to that, which becomes to r's complement. And whatever the r's complement we got, that will be added to AC, to the minute. In this way, the subtract operation will be performed. And you can see in the add operation flowchart, here there in the subtract, AC and BR are named as minend and subtrahend. In the previously, some terminology we have discussed. If the operation is subtract operation, the two values are called as minend and subtrahend. Whereas in the add flowchart, the two values are called as argand and addend. Argand and addend. So if you want to perform argand and addend addition, simply AC is equal to AC plus BR. There is no need to go for the complement method or two's complement method, etc. And by performing these two operations, subtract and addition operation for two's complement, it will be very simple than the previous flowcharts. The previous flowchart, XOR operation, something else, and it is little bit complicated, but this flowchart is very easy to implement and also very easy to understand. And at the end, whatever the overflow we get, that overflow will be stored in a variable called as V. When the overflow occurs, if there are 3-bit number is added to a 3-bit number, 3-bit number is added to a 3-bit number, if the result is 4 bits, sometimes say for example 326 and 235. If you are adding 326 and 235, definitely you will get result as 3 bits only. But 326 is added to 835, then definitely 4 bits result will be there. So the fourth bit what you are getting is a overflow. The fourth bit what you are getting is a overflow. So that overflow bit is stored in the value register V. Here V is a single bit flip-flop. I don't know whether you are much aware of the flip-flop or not. In your digital logic design, you might have discussed about this flip-flop register. A flip-flop is a 1-bit register. So even always the overflow is also a 1 bit, 1 access bit, that will be stored in that flip-flop called as V in this example. Okay, so when you compare this algorithm and flowchart with the signed magnitude algorithm which we discussed, we know that it is much simple to add and subtract numbers if negative numbers are maintained in sign 2's complement. Means if whenever you are performing addition operation or subtraction operation, if the negative number is there as one value among two, in between two, argument or minuend or subtrahend or whatever it is, among these values, if one is negative, one is positive, rather than comparing two signs, the magnitudes, and then by using XOR gate, whether the two signs of two variables are equal or not. So if two signs are equal, then go for simple addition. If two signs are not equal, then you come to second position, and there again you check out whether one sign is A is greater than B or not. If A is greater than B, you do this, or if A is equal to B, then two signs are different, plus A minus B, where A is equal to B, B is equal to A, then result will be 0. And if A is less than B, then you perform B minus A. If A is greater than B, you perform A minus B. So these are all the different complications are there in the previous flowcharts of addition and subtraction. To overcome those complications of performing arithmetic operations, basically addition and subtraction of two signed magnitude values, we use simply 2's complement method, where the previous flowcharts are explained in an easy manner how to perform a subtraction or addition by using the 2's complement method. So you can see with this example, you might have clarified a doubt that, sir, why you are using complement method for subtraction? Simple, plus 5 minus 3 is equal to 2, we know very well. Or minus 5 plus 3 is equal to minus 2, we know very well. But inside the computer, to perform these operations, why it is you converting one value into 2's complement and adding the result. If the result contains a overflow, simply discard and consider it as a positive value, and if the overflow is not there, then convert the result into 2's complement and put a minus sign, that is negative sign, in front of it. Like this total lengthy procedure. Why the total lengthy procedure is being used? Though the procedure is very lengthy, but the hardware implementation and the flowchart representation of performing addition and subtraction using 2's complement method is very easy than the direct process, which is explained in the previous flowchart. So see in the previous flowcharts, both one is for addition, one is for subtraction, we have explained, and by combining those two also we gave a one flowchart. That flowchart basically first it checks out the sign bit of two magnitudes. I am repeating the summary of that flowchart, combined flowchart. So it represents, first checks out the sign bit of both magnitudes. If both sign bits are equal, means both the magnitudes are negative or both the magnitudes are positive, then both the magnitudes are added simply, and the sign is also same for both. Whichever the sign, that sign will be represented. Say, for example, if minus 5 and minus 8, both signs are equal or not? Both are negative values only. That's why what we do, 5 plus 8, 13 will be added, result with a minus value, minus 13 result. Or else, if one value is plus 5, second value also plus 5. In this case also, both the magnitudes are 5 and 8 are different, but their signs are same, plus signs. So the result is plus 13. So but the first case of checking is whether the two signs are equal or not. If the two signs are equal, simply performing addition operation and put the sign, whichever it is, because the sign of two values are same. If at all, if the signs of two values are not same, one is negative sign, second one is positive sign, then if the signs are not same, now magnitude comparison will comes into the picture. Magnitude comparison means whether A is greater, B is greater. Signs are different, okay fine. A is greater or B is greater. If A is greater than B, so we will perform A minus B. Then the sign will be minus, because A sign, greater values, sign will be put. Or else if A is less than B, A is less than B, we will perform B minus A, and we will put the negative sign there. Sometimes if A is equal to B, then this is a typical combination. A is equal to B means both the magnitudes are equal but signs are different. Means if the magnitude is same with two different signs, the result will be 0 for subtraction. Okay, minus 4 plus 4, signs are different but the magnitude is same, 4 and 4. That's why the subtraction result will be 0. That's why in the result register it contains 0, and the sign register also contains 0, as 0 may be considered as a positive number but not a negative number. So this total explanation about the previous operation is very complicated than this one. That is the reason why the computer is performing the arithmetic operations, basically addition and subtraction, by using the 2's complement method, as it is very easy to perform, to design the algorithm, to draw the flowchart, and its hardware implementation also very easy if you go for considering the operations using the signs 2's complement. You got my point? So this is about the arithmetic addition and arithmetic subtraction of your computer arithmetic operations, and in our next class we will discuss about the multiplication operation in one session and division operation in the other session. So dear students, based on your request, we have got explained many examples for conversion of integer parts, binary parts, fractional parts, for binary, octal, decimal, hexadecimal. Also we have considered complements also for basically binary numbers and decimal numbers. Complement subtractions, complement additions also we have discussed with some examples. And last but not least, in the previous class we have discussed about the parity check bit method, and how a parity is generated and how a parity is checked. A small video is also given to you in the previous session. I hope all those doubts are got clarified. That's why I have started the new topic today's class in the part 3, which is your computer arithmetic. See, after having the algorithm and the hardware implementation for the 2's complement, and as we discussed, it is very easy, but in point of view for your final examination, we have to discuss and learn the complicated part of your flowchart explanation in a signed magnitude form, but not in the sign 2's complement. So the flowchart algorithm which was discussed earlier is for your better understanding, a video is attached to this explanation for better understanding. You go through that video along with this my explanation. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can call me. Thank you one and all. So with this we have completed the introduction part, addition subtraction part of your third topic, or third part of your unit 1. Thank you one and all.
The topic for this video is again addition and subtraction, but in this video we are going to deal with the flowchart for these two operations. Now this flowchart is basically divided into two parts, subtraction and addition. Again we need two numbers A and B to perform both the operations. If you remember, in the previous video we made a table for signed magnitude numbers, right, where the addition and subtraction operation actually depended on the sign of the two numbers. So in this case, to find whether subtraction will be performed or addition, we need to check if the sign of the two numbers is same or different. For that we are going to perform XOR between the sign bit of the two numbers. AS and BS are the sign bit of the two numbers, and what we are doing is performing XOR. The result of XOR gate is given here. That means if the sign of the two numbers is same, the result of the XOR gate will be 0, otherwise it will be 1. Now if you see the previous video, you can see for the addition operation when the sign of the two numbers were same, that is the first and the fourth case, the addition was performed. That is for 0 0 or 1 1, where the value of XOR gate will be 0, that is 0, addition is performed. Here the XOR gate results in 0, that is the sign is same. For add, that is the first and the fourth case, and addition will be performed where addition of A and B is performed here, and the result is stored in EA, and the value of E was transferred to AVF, and where AVF was add overflow flip-flop. In the second and the third case, where the sign of the two numbers was different, subtraction was performed. So what we are doing here is, in these two cases where the sign bit is different, XOR gate results in 1 and it will going in the subtraction part. Similarly for the subtraction part, if you remember, when the signs were same, subtraction was performed. So in this case, 0 means signs are same and subtraction is being performed, whereas in other case, addition is being done. Coming to the subtraction part, what we are doing is we are adding the 2's complement of B to A, and the result is being stored in EA. Okay, now the value of E determines which number is greater. If the value of E is 1, A is greater than or equal to B, otherwise it is smaller than B. Now in the case where A is greater than or equal to B, if it is greater than B, that means if it is not 0, the result is already found and it is already stored in A and AS. But in the other case, it can be equal to B. In that case, the result will be 0, because A minus B, where A is equal to B, it will be 0. Sign bit will be set to 0, that is positive, resulting in a positive 0. In the other case where A is smaller than B, in this case we need to perform little operation, that is here we need to find the 2's complement of A, because B minus A has to be done. So what we are doing is basically finding the 2's complement of A here. Firstly, finding the complement and storing in A. Now this A is basically A complement and adding 1 to it and storing it in A. So this is how we're finding the 2's complement, and the result is again stored in A and AS. So this is the flowchart of addition and subtraction, which shows how actually addition and subtraction of signed magnitude numbers is performed. I hope this video was useful to you. Thank you.